guys, Laura here. I'm here today to do my start of the summer book haul. I kept putting this video off because I kept waiting for me to go to things, but now I have a crazy amount of books that I really didn't anticipate. So I'm sorry for the length. I'm going to preface this video by saying this semester was really, really crazy. So I didn't get to go to any of like the real, like I didn't get to go to BEA, I didn't get to go to BookCon. So I was kind of a little bit disappointed in that. And I am very excited to hear that Comic-Con is going to have a book component, which will be a little bit more. So I was really looking forward to that. But a lot of things happened that like I got stuff. So I'm really, really happy to show you guys. I'm going to start with the books that I bought, and then I'm going to go to Book Outlet, and then I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble Fest, kind of in that order. But there are a lot of books, so you guys might want to get a snack, because it's going to be kind of long. The first book I picked up was Trials of Apollo, and I got this the week of May. I actually bought a lot of books that day, so you'll see a lot in this haul from that. But this is the first book in the Trials of Apollo, The Hidden Oracle. I already read it and reviewed it, so you guys could check that out on my channel. I got this at Books of Wonder, and I picked a few books up there from the day because they were having like an author event. I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. If you like Rick Riordan's world, I highly recommend that you read this. And then the next 3 books are kind of a funny story. I go to a graduate program in technical theater, educational theater, sorry, and we had a family arts day, and they were, getting raffle tickets to give out stuff, and a bunch of the prizes were really, really cool. One of them was YA books, so of course I put a majority of my tickets in, and to my surprise, I won. Like, everyone in my graduate program won stuff, so it wasn't just me, but I just found it really, really funny. So the first one I have is by Karen Mackler. It's The Earth, My Butt, and Other Big Round Things, and they're all signed by her, which is really, really great. Haven't actually heard of this one, but it looks really fun. And then the next one I see is Tangled by Catherine, and this is like a summer. I think that they're like trapped on an island that starts to have a mind of its own or something. I don't know a lot about these books, but that's okay. And then the one that I really wanted in it was The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler. Jay Asher also wrote 13 Reasons Why. And this is a book, the premise of this book is that it's 1996 and they get told to sign into Facebook so that they get to basically see their future lives, which I thought was like a really, really cool premise. But I actually haven't read this and it's signed. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this as well. Again, it's like kind of like a dystopian stuff, so that should be interesting. And then I also went to the Strand that weekend that I got all these other books, and I picked up The Corner of Right by Jacqueline Moriarty. She writes a lot of fantasy novels, and this is one that is about a magical community, and I think this is the first book. I think it's like a trilogy, but yeah, this is another book that I picked up. I'm going to try to limit my summaries because it's just a lot of books. But also, if you guys aren't aware, there's this website, it's called First in Line, and they give away ARCs and stuff like that. And I won Beware the Girl by Teresa Toden, and this comes out in May 2016, so it's actually already out. But I was very, very excited to get it, so I'm excited to actually read this too. And this is like a creepy mystery. And yeah, I'm excited to read that. And this I got a while ago, but I forgot when I was doing a haul that I meant to put it in. It's Juniors by Kay Hart Hemmings. And this is a summer contemporary. I got this I think in October, so it's like a really, really long time. But it's summer now, and I'm excited to realize what this is about. And the next book I picked up, I got this from Barnes & Noble, and this is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I've read all of her other books. I've read Since You've Been Gone, Amy Marge's Epic Detour, and Second Chance Summer all last summer, so I'm very excited to read this. And I have a couple of other books from her that are written under Katie Finn, which is her pseudonym, so I'm very excited to hopefully get to read this soon. And it's about a girl named Andy who has her whole life planned out, and one thing happens that changes her whole summer and basically changes her life. So those are just some of the books that I got. And this is the other pile of books that I got. I got Summer Days and Summer Nights, which is a compilation of stories that was edited by Stephanie Perkins. And I'm about 3 stories in, and it is so funny. I just was at an event with Libba Bray, and she was in front of me, and I was reading her story behind her. I love these anthologies. You, like, get exposed to authors that you, like, never would have known of. I, like, was turned on to so many authors after I read the holiday one, so I'm really excited to read this, and I will give you guys my full thoughts when I complete it. And I was going baby shower shopping, for a friend of mine. Giselle, if you watch these videos, it was for you. But I picked up 2 books there, and this is like a discount, so the books are really cheap. And I've always wanted to read Nancy Drew, and I never have, so I picked up Secrets of the Old Clock, this is the first Nancy Drew book, and that's really, really exciting. And then I also picked up Variant, by Robin Wells, and this book is about Benson Fisher thought that the scholarship to Maxfield Academy would be his ticket out of his dead-end life. He was wrong. He's now trapped in a school that's surrounded by razor wire fence, a school where video cameras monitor his every move, where there are no adults, and the kids have split into groups in order to survive, when breaking the rules equals death. But when Benson stumbles upon a school's real secret, he realizes he's playing by the rules could spoil a fate worse than death, and that escape has only real hope for survival may be impossible. And I heard about this, when it first came out, and I thought it was really, really interesting, so it's good to pick it up for so cheap. And then the next book I picked up was Raging Sea by Michael Buckley. And this is one of the books that I got signed by Michael Buckley. He was doing a signing event at Books of Wonder, which if you're in the city and you haven't checked out their events, I would really recommend you do it, because they have a lot of great authors that come by there, and you get personalized books, and they chat with you, so it's really, really nice. And this is the second book in the Undertow series, and he talked about so many other novels, like one about Nancy Drew, so I'm very, very excited to read that. So yeah, this was very, very exciting, and I hope to read that soon. And then I went to BJ's with my mom, and whenever I go to BJ's with my mom, she always buys me something, which is very, very nice, Mom. So I got The Last Star by Rick Yancey, and this is the final book in the Fifth Wave series. I marathoned through these books earlier in the year, so I hope to finish this soon, and this is the final book in that series. And then the next thing I picked up was, again, from the book signing. It's Nearly Gone by Ellie Cosimo. And this is about a girl who, she hasn't told anyone that the emotion she can taste when she brushes up against someone's skin. And there's a serial killer on the loose. And she is one of the only people that can figure out who is doing it. And back to the Strand a little bit. I went to the Strand one day. I think I was, wandering aimlessly. I think I had to, go somewhere later, but I needed, somewhere to hang out. So I was wandering around the Strand, and I went to their value bins. If you ever go to the Strand, it's, a really, really big bookstore. And outside the Strand, there's, dollar bins, and these are the 2 books that I picked up. I picked up Dreamless by Josephine Angelini, and I started this series from my library, and I really, really liked this. It's about Greek mythology. And the tagline is, the curse that only she can break, the scion who shields her from her daughter, the temptation that may trigger a war. So that is really exciting. I'm excited to finish, and it's a trilogy, so Goddess is next after this. And then, as I've talked about, book hype 1,000 times on this podcast, they had this thing a few months ago, or a year ago, I think at this point, that they did, the most influential books in their life. And someone talked about Bet Me by Jennifer Crusie, and this is actually an adult novel. I read Jennifer Crusie when I was younger, and I just never wound up picking up this book. So I decided to pick it up and see what was going on. And it was only $1. I said, why not? And then a friend of mine decided she wanted to do a Tamora Pierce book rereading. And I have never read Tamora Pierce. I own, about 4 of her books. I just never actually read them. So I picked up Tamora Pierce, The Song of the Lion, Alana, The First Adventure. So I'm excited to read this, and I'll get to read this in July, and then we're going to read the second one. Alright, so those are all the books that I got from various retailers. Now I'm going to do my book outlet order. Now, I bought this book order at a very, very odd time, because it was the week after the Mother's Day sale, but I had just passed my theater teaching exam, so I was really excited, and I got some extra cash for helping out in a thesis, so that's why I made this purchase. But I've literally had these books in my cart for about 1.5 years. I've had this order for, since maybe, January. Since I made my last order, I've had these books in my cart, and the first one I had to get, so that's why I pretty much made the order. But it's Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I read this book, I listened to this book, I love this book, and I needed it to match the other books on my shelf, so that's why I bought it. And then the next book I picked out was a sequel, and it is Courtesies and Conspiracies by Gail Carriger, which is the second book in the Finishing School series, and I saw it, and I have the first one, and I said, you know what, I'll get it. And then the next book I picked up is The Five Kingdoms Sky Raiders by Brandon Mull. I've always wanted to read a Brandon Mull book, and I think I heard about this on the Prustopia channel, and she bought it also on Book Outlet, so I added it to my cart. So I'm excited to read this soon. And then the next book I picked up was a summer contemporary. It's called 5 Summers. It's about 5 girls that go to camps, and then they come back so many years later, and you learn what happened that summer. So maybe I'll get to read this summer, I hope. And then the next book I picked up was huge. It's The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon, and this is the second book in the Bone Season series. This book is huge, and I have Bone Season on my shelf, and I said, you know what, why not? I'll pick it up. And then the next couple of books I picked up is Shadowfell and Ravenflight by Jennifer Marillier, and these books I think are about fairies. And I heard Becca Be Awesome Be a Book Nut talk about it, and I think if I recall, she says it's about fairies, which I'm very excited about. And then the last couple of books that I picked up is The Book of Ivy by Amy Engel. I heard about this book on Cassidy Bondage channel, and she really, really enjoyed it. So I hope that I get to read this soon. I also picked up Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini, who is the same author that wrote the Goddess series. So yes, and then I also picked up Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood. I've actually had my eye on this book for a while. And I love the back what it says. It says, blessed with a gift, cursed with a secret. 3 exceptional sisters, 2 dangerous choices, 1 terrible secret. Not a single person they can trust. The Cahill witches aren't safe, not even from each other. That is just a crazy book. And then I also picked up the sequel to Taken, which is Frozen. And I got this in the fall at Books of Wonder, but I wanted to get the sequel. So yeah, those are all the books that I picked up from Book Outlet. If you have not checked out Book Outlet, I highly recommend it. They are a great website, but be sure you they have very, very good deals. They really do. I don't have the room for all the deals that I want to buy, but they have a great name. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is everything that I just got from BookFest. BookFest for me was today, so you got to see all those books that I picked up. Now, I don't know if they're everywhere, but I know that Barnes & Noble has done this thing. It's called Teen Reader Fest, and they have a whole weekend of events. I didn't get to go yesterday, but got to go today. So I go into any type of event where I think that there might be books with like very, very low expectations. So the first stuff I got are simply just chapter samplers. But I got The Amateurs by Sarah Shepard, which is, I am very excited about this. I really do like Sarah Shepard's book, but I think that they sometimes get a little bit too predictable. And this, I'll just read you guys the first. As soon as Spencer Price sees a post on the Case Not Closed website about Helen Kelly, she's hooked. Helen's high-profile disappearance, 5 years, is one of the original Gosling are addicted to true crime. It's the reason she's a member of the site in the first place. So when Mary Wright, her best friend from CC&C site, invites Seneca to spring in Connecticut looking into the cold case, she immediately packs her bags. But the moment she steps off the plane in trendy, glamorous Duxby, things begin to go wrong. Maddie is nothing like she expected, and Helen's sister, Erin Keller, seems completely hostile and totally unresponsive in helping with their murder investigation. But then Bert, another super user from the site, joins Serena and Maddie and Dexter. Aria starts to come around, and the police must have missed something, and someone in Duxby's definition has been kept quiet. As Seneca, Brett, Mandy, and Erna begin to unravel dark mysteries and shocking betrayals about the people closest to them, they seem to be on the murder trails at last, but somewhere near the killer is watching, ready to do whatever it takes to make sure the truth stays buried. Now, this is really, really excited, and I hope to read this soon. I had a little bit of an issue with her other series after Pretty Little Liars because I think it was just a little bit too predictable, but I'm excited to see what this is. I didn't even know she was coming out with something, and I will definitely get to read this, and I will give you guys my thoughts. And then the next chapter sample I picked up was The Fever Code, which is the prequel to the Maze Runner series, but it actually follows, like, Thomas and stuff like that. And this comes out in September. I also got Carve of the Mark by Veronica Roth, and this book comes out in Oh wow, it comes out January of 2017. So I'm excited for that. And then the next thing I got was just other cards and stuff. I also got Melissa De La Cruz, Something in Between. Only You Can Decide Where You Belong. And this is just a summer contemporary. And this is the first 8 chapters as well. And then I also got The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. Nothing can prepare you for your nemesis. The Diabolic is ruthless, is powerful, it has a single task: kill, in order to protect the person that you've been created for. That's exciting. And then we also got I also got It's Not Me, It's You, which is just another contemporary. And then we also got a bunch of like other stuff. We got like a nice epic read book. A lot of this stuff was probably from, BookCon and stuff. I also got a Fierce Reads coloring book. And then I got, this is what it was, the Barnes & Noble Fest. And then I also got, this is the thing that they're going to do tomorrow. But it was really, really fun. And I literally would have been happy if this is all the stuff that we got. So the way that you got there and you got book signing. There was a couple of authors that were there signing stuff. So I'm going to talk about those books. So I picked up Razorhurst by Justine Labaresse. And she was there signing, so I picked it up. And this is it's not a contemporary. It's a historical fiction novel with magic. It's about this character named Sydney, and she can see ghosts. That's a very, very basic description, but she made it sound like all about blood. So that was kind of what her topic was, and I really, really liked it. I actually didn't get this originally, but after I heard her talk, I wanted to pick it up. And I also picked up The Shadow Cabinet by Maureen Johnson. And this is the 3rd book in the Shade of London series. I've listened to the first book. They didn't have the 2nd book, but I really wanted to get her to sign it. So that is why I got it, unfortunately. I didn't get Madness underneath, but I will get that or listen to it, and then I can have it. And then I also picked up I Will Save You by Matt De La Pena. He wasn't there. He had a family obligation, but his books are very, very realistic. And I have a few books of him on my Kindle. I read him in my holiday stories, and I really, really liked his writing. I would have loved to meet him. But these are all the books that I picked up. Now, if I got all that stuff and I went home, I would have been really, really happy. But the way it worked is that Barnes & Noble Fest, at least the way my thing did it, it was basically all set up on like the young adult floor, and then you went upstairs 2 flights to where the reading was taking place. As I've said before, I didn't get to go to any of like the nice book events this year because I just had school and I couldn't, take any time off. So I was up there and I saw someone out of the corner of my eye have a replica Ark. I was like, where did you get those? This is, you go downstairs and there's a whole table. So all of these books are completely free. I know nothing about these books. So some of them I do. So I'm going to just show you guys what I got and tell you guys when they come out. And I'm going to kind of read them in order that they come out. So the first book that I got, the first arc I got is We Know It Was You by Maggie Thrash. And this comes out October 2007. And I'm just going to read you guys a little blurb. Halfway through Friday Night Football game, beautiful cheerleader Brittany Montague, dressed as a giant wish-up Wildcat mascot, hurls herself off a bridge at an Atlantic surging Charlotte rigger. Just like that, she's gone. 8 days later, Benny Flax and Virginia Leeds will be the only ones who know why. So that's like a mystery novel, and I'm really excited to read it. So hopefully, and this comes out in October. And the next book I'm seeing is The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett, and it comes out January 2017, and this is by Chelsea Sadani, and this is another mystery novel, and it's like Lizzie goes missing, and they have to find out what happened to Lizzie. So and this comes out in January. And the next book I'm seeing is one I was actually going to buy, and that is Sloan of Summer by Erin L. Schneider. And this is just a summer beach read, and I am going to read this soon, so this is going to be in my to-read fast pile. And then the next book I picked up, I did read More Happy Than Not by Adam Silver, and that I got in an Owl Crate box. So I got History Is All You Left Me, and I'll read you guys the back. When Theo drowned, Griffin's heart shattered. Even after Theo went off to college and started dating someone else, Griffin believed they would still end up together. Now reeling from grief and worsening OCD, Griffin embarks on a dangerous relationship with Theo's boyfriend and reveals his past and truths he fought to keep hidden. And this history is all you left me. And this comes out in January 2017. I have a lot of Januaries here. And the next one I picked up is Enter Title Here by Rulu Kanika. And this comes out in August. And the premise of this is that she's a girl that gets a YA book deal, but when her world starts becoming a lot more interesting, is that really what she wants? And this is Enter Title Here. And then the next book is one that I'm really excited to read. It's called Our Chemical Hearts by Kristen Sutherland. And I'll read it's just, the tagline is First Love is an Epic Disaster. What happens when Henry Page meets Grace, and Grace is nothing what he expected his love to be, but he falls in love with her. And this comes out in September. So it's gonna be it's another quick contemporary read. And then this is one that I literally saw it on the table and I grabbed it. I was like, that is mine. Stealing Snow by Danielle Page, and this comes out in September 2016. And this is a retelling of Snow White, inspired by the telling of Legend of the Snow Queen. And I think it's a girl. It takes place and she's in like a mental institution because she thinks that all this figment stuff is real. So that'll be one I'm gonna read soon. And then the last two books, one is The Cresswell Plot by Alyssa Wass. And this I think is actually out right now, but it's a book about a family that it's kind of another mystery. I saw Cassidy Rondich unbox it, and hers came in a box of like dirt, which I thought was super, super cool. So I hope I get to read this soon. And the last book is Fate of Flames, and this comes out in November 2016, and it's just a fantasy novel. So that is all the stuff that I got. Oh my god, guys, I really need to reorganize my bedroom with all these books, but I am so glad you guys stuck around. Let me know what you guys think I should read first. It is a lot of books. I'm really going to hopefully focus on the contemporary ones that come out soon for the new ARC stuff, but everything else I'm going to try to put in a shed so I don't have to look at it, because a lot of books somewhat stress me out. But I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any comments, question below. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope you guys got some great books, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.